Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight, you're joining us for Mountain West Valorant as Boise State is ready to go up against Colorado State. The Broncos versus the Rams here tonight. No, it's not an NFL game. It's Mountain West Esports. We're ready to go in Valorant. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, and I am joined by Greg Smith, who often joins us Wednesdays to commentate Valorant. Great to have you with us, Greg. We're getting set for this best-of-3 match. And overall, this is a special occasion because we have a live audience with us here tonight.
Yeah, we sure do. Can I get some noise in the house? Well, it's great to be here, and it's great to have people here with us, so hopefully we have a fantastic game prepared for them today.
Yeah, we're going to be ready to jump into the action very soon. We'll get to where Boise State is currently in the overall tournament, but first let's take a look at Doc's keys to the game to get them ready for the actual fight that they have going on here tonight. Doc's keys to the game, or we might just jump into the game entirely. Sometimes these teams are just ready to go. Oh, nope, we were just faked out. Doc's keys to the game in Valorant. That's going to be to flank efficiently, spend and peek wisely, diminish their econ and loot, and don't trust the right click on the Classic. That's Dal leaving us a special message. We've seen a lot of right-click attempts on the Classic fail lately.
It's fun. That's nice. When it does hit, it's very satisfying, but you're right. You can't always trust that there's a little bit of a spray and pray there to it. But a little bit of advice from Dal and from Coach is good to have.
And overall, those keys to the game brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Ready to drop on in. Looks like we're going to be loading on into Icebox. Boise State going to be in the blue, whereas we have Colorado State in red. And it has been quite a while since I've seen a Sage be brought to the party.
Yes, it has. We were talking a little bit about res mechanics and how those work with the game since Clove is out and about. And it's nice and refreshing to see that Sage. I love the Sage energy with almost all of the util. And this is a classic stage to play Sage on. And it's nice to have that ice element aspect on here, Icebox. It's really important to have these area splicing kind of utility. That's why we see the Viper always picked from both sides here. It's always very nice to have a KJ as well for a similar-ish reason. And the Sage is just kind of fun to run, to have that ice wall and be able to break things up, especially deep into the B side.
Oh, is Skyspan boozling us here? He's hovering over the ISO, but Boise State has been known to fake us out on these kind of picks before.
He can tend to just wait for that Riot 0 and then click what he's feeling.
Yep.
There we go.
We knew it. See, they can't fool us.
No.
We've been at this a little bit too long. All right, here we go. Boise State versus Colorado State in the Mountain West. Colorado State currently sitting at 3-2 so far in the season, so they are a team with a winning record. We'll see if they can put a little bit of a dent in the Broncos win-loss record, because sometimes things can be a bit unpredictable on Valorant. One thing about the Rams, though, that I'm a little bit concerned of is they didn't go for the double controller comp, because the Viper, she does offer a lot of sight denial. The problem is that with the Viper, that toxic screen is going to be placed in just about the same point every single time, whether you're going A or B. Having that Harbor available, I mean, he's got a whole bunch more walls that he can set up. I think Boise State is really going to be controlling a lot more sidelines, a lot more angles with the fact that they went double controller. But we'll just have to see how things actually turn out. Boise State will be defending first, Colorado State attacking.
Looks like a pretty typical buyout as we start on in. You can tell that there's a little bit of a favoritism on the Boise State side to picking up a couple of Ghosts and a Sheriff instead of grabbing all the different util that they might have available to them. Prestige saving a couple shekels for the next round. And it is a set up behind A. Got a couple of players moving it nice and slow down the sideline. Skies takes a shot or two. He's going to fall back after that first little bit of eye contact. And they are committing the spike down into the maze here as that first 1-2 util come out.
Early shots exchanged around the corner is going to bait out the Jet Util, and Prestige lands the first blood against Colorado State. Great start for the Broncos. Spike does get planted, however. Skies and Damio each picking up one. Gombi and Lettuce, though, making this competitive. It's now a 3v1 as they surround Colorado State and take the first round. They'll get the defuse Spike and the first little advantage in terms of credits.
Yeah, Lettuce did an exceptional job staying alive. It got very scary there, but they set the Spike down in just the right place to keep them alive for a while. Didn't last forever, though. Boise State with the first point is kind of expected to take the second point as well, unless something ridiculous comes out from our friends from Fort Collins here. We'll see what they have prepared for us.
Boise State will now have the opportunity to purchase up. They'll have a gun advantage for this round and then try to go as far as they can with that into the next. And in terms of what they want to buy, it's a question of how, oh, they are really snipe heavy today. They're going with 3 outlaws in terms of the defense. They want to hold some long sidelines. See Sky's already positioned on top of yellow. Meanwhile, we also have views in Cubby, but Gami is going to be the sniper instead, lands the first blood against Skelesis.
Impressive. We always expect that Marshall to be a really up-and-coming sniper in the match. If someone is that excited about it, wow, tapped him in the shoulder a little bit. Rariani using the advantage of that slow coming off the bullets there. He's going to grab them a nice 1-for-1 overall, so it's up to 4v4 for the round. Though, there is a res in the mix if they can get their orbs in order.
Look out for Damien, though. He's looking right down the center, lands the shot with the outlaw, lands a double. And Colorado State is down to just 2. Their Jet trying to bring things back. Shot goes, tailwind to get on out of there. We also have a firefight between Lettuce and Rariana. And Rariana's going to win that now. It's just this Jet for Boise State to chase down. They find it and win the second.
Rariana strafing the quarters there incredibly. Got all kinds of screen time. And took it out with a several.
Now Boise State, this is going to be a bit of a challenge for them. Colorado State has enough credits where they can purchase full-on rifles. I was going to say they can purchase full-on rifles, but something went wrong with Colorado State. One of them's having to settle for a Guardian.
Yeah, and you can see the creds are a little bit thin over across the board.
Well, this might not be as much of a gun differential as normally would be, especially with an outlaw. If Skelesis and Skies can land an early pick, beat some great free guns as we see Colorado State going to start pushing through B door right now, heading over toward yellow.
Yeah, Skelesis with the incredible lineups.
Moves right through around the corner and lands the shot, headshot against Lettuce. Colorado State still pushing up through B. Rariana rounding around yellow. Just a bit of a waiting game, see if anyone pushes too far over the side. They do indeed. Rariana landing a collateral, turns it into a triple. Boise State now just looking for this lone remaining killjoy.
And Rariana's rearing to go. It's going to be Prestige to go down to Gombi, but that gives out all the info they need. Sky's going to grab a little ult point. Oh, trades it off. That's going to give us some interesting insight to the value of ults coming up in the next couple rounds. Gombi trying to stay alive here, but very cornered.
Oh,
takes one well.
Crosshair placement
you have
right
to respect
there.
that.
Yeah.
He's going to try to get around the mid area. Is going to be pinged. That's kind of difficult.
Problem is he's got so long to go to actually get toward the spike and then plant it. He just doesn't have enough time. Skies will be able to flank him. Get the win for Boise State, so that's a win on their bonus. Huge start for the Broncos.
Yeah, Gombi in like a 3-1 scenario. You're kind of in a forced save where you'd like to quote-unquote save, but you know they're coming for you. So he just has to stay nice and lively in the eyes, looking around the corners, trying to see what he can do. This collateral was incredible. Gombi fended people off for a while. To take 2 is impressive. However,
yeah, why not for Rariana? He's already up to 7-0-1 on his KDA, so clearly leading the team. Already has the Viper's Pit all charged up. Damio has Reckoning to use.
And that was just the Broncos' bonus round. So to take the first 3 points is a strong lead, and they're going to have plenty of money in the case now. Skies, gets very invasive, even takes one with him on the way out the door. And there's no trade. No one follows him up. looks like a little bit of separation towards Snowman as they're coming into B.
Few stragglers in mid. Damio takes them out with a flank. Can they even get the spike down? They do, so they'll get the credits for that at least. But they got a huge disadvantage. Lettuce landing 2 with the Sheriff. That's a respectable performance. Now it's 1-3. Boise State tries to surround. Is going a bit cheeky though, trying to go for a knife. Prestige will say, nah, let's just claim the round when we can, get the defuse, and go up to 4-0.
It's a good call. It's a good call. Prestige was also low health. Daimyo trying to show off the skin, and I respect it. It's a solid skin. But Boise State now looking at 4 points with a couple of ults on the board. I don't think that we've seen any ults so far, but the res is available for Colorado State, so Boise State has to kind of recognize that they're in a 5v4 scenario if everything lines up.
Whole bunch of credits to use, and they're going to be put to good use. Sky's now bringing out the operator. One shot against the head or body is an instant kill with that sniper gun. So I don't know if production is going to humor my thought, but I always like the camera being focused on the operator just for the first few seconds of the round, because you never know when they're actually going to get that snipe.
You know they're itching to use it. Skelisys lineups are always worth getting a little bit of screen time, though. And this is our first, I believe, full gun-to-gun round about all ARs.
This is what I told you, production. This is why I wanted to see it, because now we saw that off screen. But it's a good snipe nonetheless. It'll force Colorado State to use their res, so that's a huge ultimate taken off the table. Now we do see Skies trying to hold this sideline. A lot of sight denial being placed up. Skies is instead going to try to move past the wall, see if he can spot anybody through there. It's all a big question of whether Colorado State is going to rotate over or whether they will try to push A again.
Yeah.
Oh, I see a sneaky shot right here with Rariana. Could have a very nice flank from behind. Skies also still keeping an eye off on these crucial choke points in
he's moving in.
We're going to see a great pinch play coming out from Boise State. Just going to peek out though there.
Yeah, the spike holder is still holding
very
back.
Stealthy-like. Moving in Rariana, though, putting the pressure on them. Skies finds one with the pistol. Damio comes in with the double. And then the flanking motion from Rariana, putting even more pressure on them. Lettuce takes off one, but it's not enough to stop the Broncos. They move on 5-0.
There's so much to break down in that round. I mean, we saw the ult coming a mile away, but to use it that early in the round meant it was basically a 5v5, except the op had so much less value out of it because it was no longer a surprise. They got to just send someone flying in, find the op, and then they tried to ignore it as long as they could. They decided to double back and go back underneath the op, but the op stayed strong, got a nice off angle, and they were able to take one for free. Having someone come up behind was devastating for Lettuce because there was no support to the rest of the team. If there was, Lettuce easily could have wiped a lot more than just 2 players there. I mean, they were very close to taking 2, which is half the team after you already have a man go down or have one deep in the flank.
Timeout called by Colorado State. They'll get about a minute to talk with their coach, see if there's anything that they can clean up, or maybe just talk with each other. Sometimes just a stand up, walk around, loosen up. Just collecting your thoughts can be enough to turn things around. But right now, Boise State still looks very plugged into everything as they have a live view of our audience cheering them on right now. They're putting on a good performance so far. Boise State up 5-0. It's first to 13 that is going to win, and they know when they have an audience and want to perform a bit.
Yes, they do, and they're good at it.
Boise State now just a few seconds away from jumping back into the match as the timeout wears off. Boise State has won every single defense round so far, has a huge bank of credits to use. So it's going to be a very crucial round for the Rams. They've gone all in on their purchase.
Indeed.
So they got to try to avoid the economy round. Oh, Sky's a little bit trigger heavy with the finger. Doing a bit of pre-fire through. Prestige picks up a double with the wall bang, making it a triple. He's got 3, but the question is he going to keep on going? No, he's going to play it safe for now.
Yeah, Prestige did lose a brother in the trenches, though, and Skies was not really there to help. Scoped in a little bit too far field. Rariana looking for a clippable save here, might just find it. Sure enough, sneaks up on one, just can't find the second one. That's all right. A 1-for-1 trade is a good simplification when Boise State is ahead so many people. So 3 against 1 now, and that 1 is a Sentinel. Nice back-of-pocket style player holding on to the spike. They're low on options, and they're short on time.
They better buff it. Oh, nice job. Catches him around the corner. Much more in the realm of possibility now. And still has all their Uto to use too, so even if they took some damage, no! Skelisys winded right then, right there. Boise State going up to 6.
It was a nearly fair one-on-one. I thought for sure that Lettuce knew exactly what was going to happen next, but looked down the wrong sight line, and that's all the flick they needed for Skillsis to take the upper hand. They're playing well, though. Lettuce is a strong contender for top frag. I haven't seen the tab board in a second, but we have a couple of ults out, especially on the side of Boise State. We know the Colorado State has used one already. So that means Boise State is accumulating them a little bit quicker, which you could guess by the scoreboard. And Boise State has secured the first half of their first half. So they're at least coming into a second half of the game nice and easy, nice and even. But they would love to get some extra points before they move into the attacking side.
Skellis is keeping an eye out from the choke. Will get dinged with the tracing dart, so that'll get his location revealed. Bit of a push from Colorado State, so in a couple less around A.
We're seeing a little bit of a spread out situation coming from Colorado State. Looks like they're all kind of falling back out of A, but they're sending one back up A and one up mid. Oh, and the spike holder all the way back in spawn is gone down to Skies. Rariana on the hunt finds another one straight through the middle, and they've divided the team in half. Sky player Manhan is going to take down Prestige, cause a little bit of contention on A site, but the win con has changed. You can ignore those threats when you're sitting on top of the spike. Mace is going to take out Rariana, but Skies hunts him down and gets a 4-piece to close out the round.
And I think this was a problem that I was alluding to a little bit earlier on with Colorado State's composition. The Viper just, she always has to place that toxic screen on B to split it up, just the standard positioning. That only leaves them with one smoke, the poison orb for them to actually work with here. And that's rough, especially when you got Skies. I mean, he essentially has free reign. He's not getting smoked off at all. He has view over whatever angle he wants to take. And I think that's due to Colorado State opting for this Sage over a controller.
And the Sage has a little bit of vision denial. It's always fun to see. I love a battle Sage, but you're right. Without being able to slice up the territory here, a good Skies...
You should run.
Sorry, a good Jet. Skies, a good solid Jet player, is going to have the mobility to get all the way around any of that. An attacker Killjoy is going to drop. Ooh, and they're calling the bluff here a little bit, trying to get out some shots before it goes down. But he's not quick enough to dash right into the wall.
He is caught in there. He's so far back, though, they'll be able to wait that one out. And Rariana has consistently been able to get these flanks through their spawn. They're not going to fall for it, though. There, however, Lettuce lands the headshot. Boise State finding themselves on the back foot. They're placed down the defender lockdown. Try to regain some ground as Skies has brought out the knives. Doesn't find it. Mannheim lands the headshot against him. Now there's just two Broncos left. Awkwarding position for Prestige, leaves it all up to Daniel to take it back 1v4. He's got the timer ticking against him.
Ooh, he's fighting the timer, though. Gonna play through that harbor wall. Oh, comes around and gets caught by Lettuce. I love that you called Rary out for being consistent. Consistency in your aim is important, but consistent gameplay, that gets punished by good players. So Lettuce turns right around and catches him here. Unfortunate. Good to see that defending Killjoy ult go out and recapture this space. Really gave Daimyo the chance to get on top, but the rest of the Colorado State Rams came rushing in to close that gap, and they found themselves their first point. And look at that ult economy. Except for the one that they used last turn, they have all ults on board. I would not be surprised if we saw one pretty quick. Maybe a Viper's Pit once they get inside.
Skies moving around the corner. All the sight denial has been placed down by the Viper. Damio hanging out around the corner. Has some good crosshair placement. Nice use of the Owl Drone there to spot him out. Forcing him back. He has to use Cascades, make space for himself. Skies finds one off the snipe. Moving around on the... Oh, finds himself at cross. They had a double peek on him. And this will even it up to 4-piece.
Yeah, that harbor wall was a little bit wide. Kind of left the man open to too many angles all at once.
Rariana, though, hanging out a bit farther in mid, but same idea, trying to watch this flank. Skies is also hanging out there with the op. Lands one against Rico. It's traded back, but Prestige opens up a one-person advantage yet again. Two left from Colorado State. Nice headshot. Now we just have the Sage left. Question of if that Sage tries to use the res or just forfeits it for this round and moves on out. Boise State having having a view of just any place that this Sage could go, so it's just kind of a waiting game at this point. The crosshair placement and the one tap. Wow. Fire exchange, though. Opportunity for the Sage to actually win. Yes, Lettuce does find it. Gets a res off of it as well. This is still in the wheelhouse for Colorado. Skelesis has to put a stop to this right here because they got to play it. And finds both of them from up top. Clenching the round from Boise State, making them spend their res, and widening this to a 7-round lead yet again.
Rez and Creds with the self-heal comes out, and he just bulldozes straight through it. It's a little bit too much screen time for these caliber of players. They must have been really jiggle peeking there. But Lettuce doing exceptional here to turn a 1v3 into a 2v2. But it's just not enough. Look at this defense.
Yeah,
collateral.
absolutely no one looking up there.
Brilliant.
This does allow Skies to repurchase this op, so consistently having the sniping option. Blade Storm spent by Colorado State. And lands one with it. That'll charge up the knives again. Shot baited out from Skies. He's going to have to reposition off of that. Colorado State up to an early advantage. But a wall is going to be placed up on B to stop their forward push. Might make them start to reconsider their early plans to push through B. Now, there is so much space and flexibility opened up if they can get rid of Boise State's Killjoy in mid. That opens up so much space for them to play with because Boise State's largely committed onto B. But they're going to move back to a bit of a safer location closer to their spawn. Lettuce lands a headshot against Damio. Prestige will throw out a swarm grenade. Has the lineup all set for on point.
Welcome to my world.
Viper's Pit used by Colorado State. Now this is a good amount of sight denial that they have. Gets spotted with
Skies
the recon.
drops
Both
in with
moving
the
in
op.
with an op. Are you kidding me? Finds one with the classic. Now has picked up a Guardian.
30 seconds
Still a
left.
bit of a long-range weapon, but a better chance than the op for pushing in and retaking a point.
Oh, he'll have to watch his right side here if he wants to get through this. I'll tell you one thing. He made it this far, trusting the right click on the classic. He's going to find it. A nice little spray on the control. The knives are coming for him, though. He's going to try to dodge. Oh, fakes out the tether. They're all going to be watching above.
Oh,
He grabbed both of them in a collateral. That was disgusting. He takes a free defuse. That's crazy.
And this, we've seen Colorado State in a couple of these past rounds. They've really been kind of going all in on what angle they think Boise State is going to peek out on. And they have both people watching that angle. And consistently, that's led to these easy doubles, these easy spray transfers for Boise State to pick them both up.
You're right. That is the third collateral that we have seen so far this game. And that's the only one that we've seen those three like live and in color. We don't know what's happened off screen, but this was ridiculous. Fakes out the tether and they go line and sinker for it. Yeah. Incredible defuse setup there, leading to a nice double. We'll clip that and send it to him. Colorado State now with only one ult on board after they used two last round. Boise State now
someone. Oh, he's going to get spotted out by the recon board.
Yeah.
Now that they know that opper is there, they want to have nothing to do with that long hallway. They're going to move back on over. But Damio also holding a nice sideline on A around the corner. Are they going to be able right through the grate? Can he pick them up? Crosshair placement landed. Headshot. Boise State has a double. Is Damio done? No, he's not. He's got a triple. Can he go for 4? He can. Can he get the ace? No, he's denied at the very last moment. But Skelesis cleans things up, and the Broncos up to 10-1.
Goombi proud to be an ace thief, but still a 4K. I mean, that's a free round under Boise State's belt and an usher straight on to the next set of creds.
I don't really call it being an ace thief if the person's dead. It's like, just go in there and actually win the round. I mean, and still, I mean, this is amazing one-taps here from Damio, not to take away from the fact that this was an amazing quad.
Yeah, see, Goombi was the ace thief for winning the one-on-one.
All right. I thought you were referring to one of the Broncos, and I'm like, Damio's already dead.
Yeah,
you can't steal it from him.
Pour one out for Damio. He got the 4K. Let him have this round. Just
Uh-oh.
This opposition, he wants it. He's playing it again and again. Oh, and he almost cashed in all of his chips on that play right there. You saw the outline, but he couldn't convert. Ooh, he gets a second shot for it, and he's going to take it. Skies Switches to the knives with an off in his hand. A bold move, and it doesn't quite pay off. Buried in the snow now. Manon has a chance to move up. Oh, try to outrun the bullet. You just can't do it. Rariana takes a free one and starts pushing them kind of in the corner. They have this spike now by the spawn, and a lot of people are coming in from a lot of angles. He sees Daimyo right through the high tide at the last second. He's going to find it. Lettuce doing exceptionally, trying to dodge this defender Killjoy lockdown.
Yeah, the lockdown has completely split up Colorado State, though, and they are far away from the actual spike and don't have much time to actually reclaim it. Boise State is going to actually call it right here. Throw up the Viper's Pit, try to get all of this side away from Colorado State, either forcing them to give up the round or taking it from the side, although Rariana, this would be risky for him to peek out because I think he's just in a position here where he can keep the sideline.
Yeah, there's just too many angles, and it's been too long for... Oh, gets the collateral anyways. They were a little bit too spread out, and that recoil sent them off on the right side. A little bit of bloom. When they're not standing close enough to get that recoil, you actually have to tap fire and refresh, and it's such a hard thing to do, but they're going to find it anyways. They're going to make the conversions, and Boise State's up to 11 points.
And at halftime, this is a huge lead for the Broncos. 1st to 13 wins it, so Boise State is only 2 rounds away. And hey, if they win this pistol round, it'll be match point, and they should have gun advantage. It'll force a buyout from Colorado State, so this pistol round right here is extremely important for the Broncos.
That's true. In fact, I mean, if Colorado State had another timeout, I wouldn't be surprised if they would use it here.
Only able to take 1 round away from the Broncos. We're focusing on 2 ghosts. Rariana and Prestige, though, going for a bit of that util. Skeletons has decided...
Yeah, we definitely want to see a lot of fantastic team play coming out of Boise State here, because you're right. If they take this round, it's all too easy to take the next one and be running into this BO3 with map 1 under the belt. Rariana, a quick one, and there's no one around there to make the trade, so they're going to expand on this space. They own all of yellow, and they might even get the plant off. Sure enough, Prestige going in for a default plant, and there is absolutely no attempt on his life while he does. They're just kind of waiting for backup to get here and make a full force attack from 2 sides. It is expected for Daimyo, though, and he takes care of half the team coming in from the other side, and it's a flawless finish as Skies and Rariana both take their one. Boise State up to 12 points with an advantage going in the next round. Colorado State has really no option except to purchase up and go for the second round reach. So we can expect some of the fun guns, right? Maybe a little shotgun, Marshall maybe. We could see an outlaw. I wouldn't be surprised if we got just a commitment to a better gun and ditching all of the util and just trying to go on, aim alone.
Now remember, this is a best of 3, so when Boise State gets to 13, they'll claim the first round and move on to the second stage to claim the match overall. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. There's still plenty of game left to play. Colorado State trying to hold down B as Boise State goes for quite a forceful push, and look at all this sight now they have. They place the standard toxic screen, standard place to be able to plant, and the Harbor's going to throw his smoke onto there. They'll get the spike planted with plenty of time left to spare. Cascade pushed out to make some room for Daimyo. Finds one on the top, but it's traded back by Lettuce.
Yeah, that Harbor Cove is super helpful because I don't believe you can shoot through it very well. And Boise State's done a great job of just keeping Colorado off the site. I mean, having the toxic screen up. Wow, Manham getting personal with that Marshall. Sure enough, as they're getting that reaching buys, they've got a little bit stronger guns than they usually should have for the second round, but they're relying on them. Goombi goes crazy from a distance with that Stinger. It is Stinger meta. Prestige going to take one with the Guardian, and it's down to the defuse. Disrespectful tap fire. Prestige is going to find it with the Sheriff down to the last second. It's 13-1 for the Broncos.
I was so scared when he missed that first headshot right there. It seems like it actually went through him. You can see him breathing a sigh of relief there. Not that that would have decided the entire match, but you want to end the game as soon as you can. So now we move on to second stage, and we know all the stages are picked beforehand by both teams. Each team gets stages that they can ban, stages they can play. Now, I'm a little nervous, though, because I saw production hanging a lot around Sunset at the very beginning, as if they think, oh, that might be one of the stages in play. And, hey, we haven't seen a lot more Sunset lately. Despite some of the razzing name that we give it, it's become much more popular in this spring season.
And I'll give you one thing. I think, honestly, Boise State players are playing comfortable enough right now that they're not going to stick to the things which are tried and true and are going to guarantee them, a nice, easy downhill fight. I could see them just for fun taking a map that they maybe want a little bit more practice on, or that they think would be a little bit more exciting, or that they could catch the other team off guard with. Otherwise, I would totally say we're going straight to Ascent, right? Because they love Icebox and they love Ascent, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had some comfort picks, but you're right. We could see something a little bit clever here.
Yeah, but it's also hard to find any sort of match Boise State. If they're going to have any map choice, they usually want to bring out Bind. That is their favorite. That is their hometown.
Yeah. Yeah, we could see any map coming out of them.
Mm-hmm. I would appreciate if we could see Bind, because it's going to probably force guys or whoever they're going to put on the duelist role to change it up, going to move over to that Raze. So as the first round is claim in the best of 3, I think we actually saw Icebox first, but Bind and I was right. Sunset being brought into the mix. So
very exciting.
Bind or Sunset. So we're done with the ice. We're
Right.
going to move to a warm location either way.
Nice tropical climates ahead, either one or two of them. Obviously, it is a best of 3 and not just, it really is a first to 2. So if Boise State takes round 2, there is no map 3. Looks like they're taking a small bit of a break before they dive into the next situation. Just planning everything out. Yeah, I think you're right. If we got this stage that gave us not a more exciting composition, but just a different team comp, it's always fun to see a nice showcase, especially when we have people just watching them for the first time. Would love to see everybody play all their different favorites.
Well, and talking about team comps, Colorado State has got to work out their controller situation, because Boise State just it was very hard for Colorado State to be able to peek out around corners when when a lot of their smokes, a lot of their set denial had already been spent just on the standard placement of things in Icebox.
Yeah, and it's always fun to play away from the meta and hang out to what looks more exciting, and maybe try a build of your choice that you haven't been able to run all the time, or just try to catch other people off guard. I mean, there's always something to be said about off angles from a meta perspective, but tried and true from the blue won this one with a devastating lead. I mean, 13-1 is strong.
I mean, we should have kind of known that the op was going to be brought out just off of the fact that they brought 3 outlaws in round 2, if you remember, right after they won the first pistol round. I mean, they had sniping in their mind. And, of course, they can see the other comp, the comp that the other team has picked. So they knew that, hey, we're going to have a wonderful time on all our snipers.
Yeah, it was a blue birthday for them. You see that? That's your weather forecast for how clean the slopes are going to be. And it was clear skies. So the outlaws is just a nice little warm-up, maybe a marshal here and there. Picking up Guardians when you can. We saw the op even be traded for a Guardian in the middle of the smokes from skies. That was a wild play, a bold call, and I'm glad I saw it from a distance.
And when you're from Boise, which can be known for its inversions, you'll take clear skies any chance that you
really
can
will.
get.
Yep, it holds all the fog right in it like a bowl sometimes.
All right, here we go. We're going to be moving on over to Bind, and I'm seeing a deadlock be hovered.
Well,
by Colorado State. Boise State going for something a bit more traditional. We have the brim, we have the Raze, and a deadlock being brought out. This is the first time I am seeing a deadlock and actually get to cast a game with a deadlock since she has released. Yes, no one has picked deadlock.
That's crazy. I've still never casted for an ISO match, but I've had a couple of deadlocks. I've seen them more on Pearl where things are a little bit more congested. There's a couple of interesting spots here where the deadlock wall could be important. But I feel like there's a lot of workaround areas, and that's why it's so nice to have a strong Sentinel that can operate away from their utility like Cypher or like Killjoy, because there's so many split paths and avenues to get places. I mean, there's teleporters that can take you from one side of the map to the other, so sometimes you can just circumvent certain utility like that. Something that they'll have to be careful about.
Yeah, Boise State, I don't know if it's really going to spook them out. However, they are more than comfortable on the Gecko pick, which they have brought out multiple times before.
Yeah, the Gecko pick is such a fun one. I mean, just look at all those little guys, the little globules.
All right, this is going to be it. Match point overall for Boise State to win tonight's showdown against Colorado State. Ready to head on down into Bind. You said this was a bit more of a tropical heat. This is just more of an oppressive heat, really, in Bind here. I mean, it's a dry heat, sure, but I mean, it's still not pleasant by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, this looks like the beautiful Idaho outdoors that we're all used to here in Boise.
True. This is probably the most similar map here. Maybe a bit more of a hot desert and kind of the semi-cold, arid desert that we have, but
True.
It still gets routinely up above 100 every summer. So,
as for Duelist, looks like we're double duelisting here with the Reyna and the Rays. Interesting. If I was going to pick the two greediest duelists, I think Reyna would be both of them. So we'll have to make sure we get some decent team play out of that.
Rariana immediately caught with the breach util. Going to be concussed, but Boise State recovering pretty soon after that.
Nice. And we're getting the debut of the wingman here as he goes in for a plant in the old school default right in front of all the shinies. All that precious Radianite. He's going to pick up his globule buddy and throw him in. Just 7 seconds till he maybe comes back on stage. Maybe he's a little pest for the opponents here. Boise State getting some pre-fire off onto Gomli. And sure enough, wingman comes running right back out. Ooh. Going to try to toss Dizzy. Doesn't
Dizzy
exactly
out they are able to take out, but there's been two from Colorado State flanking them from behind, and they're going to, oh man, he's going to have stick it, move around the corner, find one. Now it's just down to one, but he can overheal, and he'll land the headshot. Has just enough time to defuse, and Colorado State taking the first round against the Broncos.
That overhaul, so powerful. I mean, he took a ghost shot straight to the jaw, but won it in a cookie clicker style mash of the LMB and went right back to the defuse. And there was a half, stuck to half and then came out to see if the coast was clear, took one into the face and returned to the favor under the rest of the Boise State staff. It's Guardians, couple of scepters, and is that a Bucky?
Yep, that is indeed an old-fashioned.
Is that a Bucky from Rays sitting in U-Haul? Okay, I know what's happening here. I feel like this is a rerun. I think I've seen this episode.
Yeah, Boise State has done that strategy multiple times, though, so I think they should at least be aware of it as Colorado State is trying to outdo them. Look at this, though. That's a wonderful angle held by the Ram.
Nice.
Boise State wasn't expecting it. Nice cleanup on the Stingers. They're going to bring Colorado State down to one. The Breach now looking to try to make some room for himself. Will take out Rariana. Spike claimed by Boise State. He can either win by taking him out or, dodges it. Around the corner, can he land the headshot? No, Rice is going to beat him with the clutch. Colorado State goes up to 2.
Incredibly close. Admittedly, we would be asking for a 4K with the Stinger out of that man if he had taken that one-on-one against Brim. But that was just an incredible play. Hopefully good to see a good bulk of it again. And maybe that Bucky will get some action here in a second. I don't know how much. Just look at it. One. Taps back out. Gets a little bit of help with that one, so it is just an assist. The third one, incredible. Skelesis. The Riot devs were going to take the Stinger right out of the game until they saw Skelesis play with it. And it looks like a nice streamline attack from Boise State straight up the center here, heading towards U-Haul. Hopefully nothing embarrassing happens with Lettuce waiting right around this corner.
Going to be aware of it. Looks like they are. Baits out one shot with the Bucky. Finds two. Colorado State. It's a strategy Boise State has used multiple times before. The shotgun U-Haul, and it worked out for Colorado State this time. Boise State might just drop here. 3 rounds. Huge change in momentum from last game.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a taste of their own medicine in more ways than one. The Bucky around the corner on A-Site is a classic card that they used to play all the time. Mace from a distance is going to take out with the Guardian. It's just the right range to play, and it's 3 rounds for the defending team. Colorado State, you're right. How the turntables. Ooh, and even more fun guns coming out. Colorado going crazy.
They're upgrading their strategy.
Upgrading their strategy. I think they're back there with a D20, letting fate decide their strategy. Look at these guns.
This is insane. Well, Colorado State, they've been winning these rounds, but not by huge margins. Their second round, they lost all but one, and going into the bonus, that didn't really make it much of a bonus, to be perfectly honest.
But those small round wins, one after another, do make huge margins in your credit difference. So Boise State now is fighting a battle uphill with no paddles.
Mid-orb being claimed by Boise State. One step closer to the Seekers. Boombot thrown out through the smoke. Bit of quiet here before the smoke. Doing a good job keeping Boise State at bay. Trying to throw out. Skies lands a headshot. We hear Thrash being used by Boise State. It's going to spot anybody. Going over toward 2. Gets the stun against him. But the orbital strike. What a trap laid by Colorado State. Boise State manages to just escape. I thought they would be toast.
Yeah, escaping deep into the U-Haul here. Colorado State trying to get out of here alive. The spike unattended at best. And Eskelsis picks up the team, gets the gang back together. He's got a couple things coming back online. He's ready for the re-hit Mace. He's going to find him with Daimyo and Rariana. Take a couple out of mid-air. Some Mace still doing the dirty work. And Skelsis is going to send Thrash off.
Yeah, and they get the hit too. He's detained. They can find the knife against him and claim the first round back.
Daimyo with a melee for the 3-piece, feeling good. There's a lot of mental aspect to the game. There's something to be said about taking that confidence back. I mean, coming into match 2 and you lose 3 rounds in a row, you want that confidence back.
And this is where that globule passive that Gecko has really coming into play. Can reuse his abilities once, including his ult. And that allowed for them to get 2 concusses, actually. That Thrash hit both times.
That's impressive. It is a nice little passive to have, and he manages it really well. Staying right behind. Oh, this is the deadlock wall that we have not seen come up very often. That barrier mesh was a little, you know, pretty effective in warning the situation. Now they've got great angles held both on the site itself from U-Haul. Looks like
things out.
Teamfight's gonna come out here. Goombi takes a lot of damage and has to backpedal.
I've got your trail.
And that ult really didn't hit anybody in time. Spike is already planted though, and the entire site is there. They're gonna hunt down Goombi. Rariana to find one on a lettuce. That's the ult. Top frag gone down. Skelsis picking all the globules back up.
One enemy
Colorado State's
remaining.
last player deep out of hookah. It's being hunted. Ooh, some sprays here. He's looking for it, but
what's even going on here?
Oh, no.
Man finds it against Boise State. Oh, it's way too much screen time for my taste. Moving away, trying to get on out of there. But Boise State is in hot pursuit right now through Market, moving around the corner. Tries to catch them around the corner. Boise State still chasing. It's 2 against 1. And it's just for fun at this point because there's no way that spike can be defused. Boise State will win the round, and he'll jump into the spike detonation.
Wow. They played a little ring around the rosy with that, man. I was going to say for Rariana, if he starts behind the box and he does like a nice solid jiggle peek, whenever he gets it, that's when we'll start the clip. We'll be nice to him. But if he goes down, we can't help you. We're showing the whole thing. So this is just unfortunate. The Foxes could not catch the rabbit here. And Manon jumps back into the hole from which he came.
He's not going to let Boise State have the satisfaction.
Says if I can't have it. Colorado State now only leading by 1 point, and Boise State, although it was a little messy, did take the last one.
Nice mosh pit lineup.
What a lineup. Skellis is taking a very, very quick first one. As that mosh pit is kind of lingering. Boise State doing well to take this site quickly, and when the coast is clear, after a little bit of a flash.
Lettuce finds one with the Bucky. The shotguns have been on point for Colorado State. Whenever they've gone with one, they've normally been able to find a good amount of the Broncos, but it's still a one-person advantage. Rariana, nice crosshair placement, lands the headshot. Gonna stop the flank through a short. Just leaves Mace left. He gets eliminated. Skies finds a double on both, and Boise State tying the game back up.
We've seen the team members doing a great job from both teams, but a lot on Boise State of crouching after the third bullet, making sure to get those tap fire mechanics in that Riot loves to see. The spray and pray is just frowned upon these days. It's 3-3 now.
It will always hold a place in my heart.
It will. It will. So will Stinger meta and Bucky meta.
But I understand we have to live in a society with rules and standards.
Yeah.
Skell assist, first blood against Lettuce. Boise State using that to get a quick push through A short, moving on up toward Utah. Will the breach be able to stop him? Lands one, but that will alert Boise State onto his position. They've spent the showstopper, moving on in. Claims A, just dead center on top of the Radianite crates. Rolling Thunder to try to take things back. Doesn't look like it hit too many of the Broncos. Man in lands one, Rice lands another. Prestige bringing it back to 2.
Oh.
Now it's 1v3. Everyone cleared out by Colorado State. They'll be able to get the defuse and go back into a one-round lead.
What a strong turnaround coming from Colorado State. Maybe they just never played on Icebox before.
We do see...
Yeah.
we do see the Deadlock Ultimate now online. And that was an interesting combination with our resident Yoru connoisseur Deadlock asking about her ultimate. And he brought up a really good point. It's not so much that the ultimate can be used in a way to where, you know, you throw the cocoon on somebody and you get the pick against them. It can more be used as a situation to bait the opposing team into taking unfavorable angles. Because it's like, you got this teammate, you need to save him, but if they just go chasing on after whoever's been cocooned, then they could put themselves into some bad dry peaks.
Yeah, that's interesting. You use the Annihilation as a bait to get a team member back. And we see similar, like, odd, where strange side effects of the ult become the main advantage, especially with, like, the ISO ult.
Man, Skellis is landing one with his U-turn. They just managed to escape the orbital strike. Nice flick off to the side by Prestige. Now in elbow, here we go. Bringing out the Annihilation. Didn't look like it hit anyone from Boise State, however. That's huge. Boise State up to a 4-1 advantage. They get the spike planted, and it's just up to this lone Raze to take it.
Prestige. Oh, lets a Dizzy go down, but it's no issue. Skies all the way back in spawn is going to take care of things. Prestige, everybody just buying what they need. Dizzy's back online. Blinding light, guiding lights are back online. And this looks like a nice big hookah push. We haven't seen, honestly, a whole lot of big, full front, coordinated hookah pushes. A nice full gun round, only a few light shields for everybody. Mostly ARs all around. Prestige using that Trailblazer to check out every angle they need to go driving right into the heart of the situation. Skies takes one early in the round. Dropping the boom bot to get early pressure on to elbow. And the spike planted back in the default, and I'm sure we just had the globule picked up from that plant. I mean, the consistency is there. Rariana. Ooh. Jumps out way into the hallway and takes one, no problem. Stymio also finds their one.
Poison's off.
Mariana calling back in the poisons to send out a quick snake bite. And that snake bite really deterring men.
Yeah, it's just a time game at this point.
Yeah, it's tough.
One-way smoke as well.
Boise State just has all of their players up too.
And they pick up, leaving the Reyna to just decide to save for this one. We'll try to keep the rifle. They're going hunting though, and they find it. They find the flawless against Colorado State. Move back up to a one-round lead.
Yeah, 2 rounds now in a row where Skies goes hunting in the spawn and finds it. You can't just decide to save. You have the other team has to let you save.
Place Colorado State onto an economy round. We are going to have 3 rounds left in this first half. Best Broncos can hope for is an 8-4. Should be a pretty healthy lead to go into defense with. And I also... It's interesting, we saw Cypher being hovered, but Cypher not actually being picked for this round here now that I look at it. Boise State decided to actually go for no Sentinel at all. They're kind of using the flex role that Viper allows to kind of be a controller and Sentinel. But they've foregone that entirely because they wanted They wanted the double initiator,
Spike planted.
double controller.
That's true. You get a strong controller coming out of Brim as well. And we see that on the side of Colorado State. I mean, they don't really have another controller-style player other than that Brim.
Crosshair placement all lined up. Damio finds a triple, a quad, and is he going to be going after an ace too?
Ooh, he wants
This is
it.
his opportunity. Oh yeah, I know he wants it. Boise State, will they let him have it is the question. He's going hunting, trying to find the last one.
Drops the incinerator. He's going to play through the incinerator.
Oh, next level Galaxy Brain play to find the ace.
That has been the second just mind-blowing play where they said, oh, look over there, and absolutely capitalize on it.
I think it was more of a thing of, oh, he's thrown the incinerate out through there. There's no way he would actually walk through his own molly to get it. Nope. Damio said, hey, I'm going to walk through it, and it definitely, I don't know if he even saw the incinerate. He was so focused on that one.
You hear it, though. You hear it blow up behind you, and then you say, okay, well, I can't walk behind. They've got me cornered. I need to focus on this angle, and then the round's over. It is just next level. A quick little guiding light is going to guide Prestige and Company in through the baths.
Oh,
man, and gets the cooldown.
Right
and 1, 2, 3 right onto Prestige. Rariana looking to close that gap, try to get some of that space back. Sure enough, they're going to find one.
Oh, concussed, but still finds it! Hey, you know, it doesn't matter if your fire rate's reduced. If you still manage to land those headshots with the Vandal, it'll do it. Lands it with the wingman, gets the plant, down to 2 for call it the round.
Nice.
Low on health around, Mace picks up 2, and Boise State is going to, 2 remaining players are just going to play it safe, move into post-plant position, and watch these angles.
Yeah, after Mace pockets 40% of the team and loses almost none of his health for it, that's a tough position. You got to watch yourself. Mace moving it up. He is pretty low on the health now, but still doing fantastic. Skies decides that W is the answer from above Goomy. No problems. Avoids the smoke and aims up. You know what a blast pack sounds like. Look up when you hear that. Goomy gets an easy defuse. Mace.
And I think that's all a result of that unorthodox spike placement by Boise State. We rarely see the spike be planted in that back corner. It took both of the sidelines. Normally, if you plant it here in the default position, Boise State would have been in a great position to watch that from A short. But overall, they kind of were their own worst enemies in that regard.
Yeah, they dug a grave and tried to walk away from it. But as you know, the saying goes, you've dug your grave, now lie in it.
Yeah.
Boise State up 1 point, though. They'll take it anyways, even though Colorado is fighting at their heels on this one. This is a nice little globule lineup we've seen before with the snakebite, making sure nobody tries to get through Bath, except for Prestige.
Since this is the last round in the half, Boise State knows that they got to use these ults here or else they will expire. They use the Seekers to get them a bit of info. Viper's Pit as well right after they plant. This is going to be a tough retake by Colorado State, and they've got the much more traditional U-Haul positioning for the spike.
Ooh, that's so much info coming off of the Trailblazer, and they see one in heaven too. Prestige knows that they're under fire. He's going to drop the guiding light to try to get a little bit out, and the Annihilation comes through. And we're watching it from the inside. That's what the Cocoon looks like. They're being dragged
moving on up
towards
to heaven.
Skelesis trying to take some shots, but it's just not there. Gumi's going to get the kill. Oh, but he goes down to Rariana, actually. Daimyo finds one in the fire. Man-hit Rariana turns it around. Colorado State now 1 player left. The spike is so low, too. Boise State found it. I'll be honest, it looks grim, but they turned it around, and they've got the lead by 2 points coming into the half.
I do really have to call out Colorado State, though, for that annihilation. That was almost poetic where it was put, because it was dragging them up to heaven in more ways than one.
Yes.
Both to the actual location and then symbolically as well.
A scary day for Prestige, who did not make it out of that one, but they did get the reply. I think that was a narrow escape by Boise State. It could have easily looked 6-6 here, so they've got to be careful. However, if they can take this first round, get the round they're scheduled for, and maybe reach for that third one, maybe not, they're definitely on the road to double digits before Colorado State is.
Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Manhan's been doing a great job on the Reyna, and when you pick the Reyna, I mean, all she's got is that leer for the team. That's the only thing you can give to the team. The other thing you got to be doing is picking up kills if you're on the Reyna. He's been doing that, but not as much as Damio has. He has 16 so far. If you jump through the smoke, Boise State just lies in wait, picks them all off, and gets a win in just record time.
I'm very surprised they didn't let the smoke drop naturally and go live all three of them at once. Instead, they kind of staggered in and took the 1-on-2 3 separate times instead of taking the 3-on-2 once. Admittedly, they don't know who's on the other side of the smoke, but you gotta anticipate the worst here. Lettuce. Yeah, let's see who threw something first. Right, they tried to use the flashpoint as a catalyst for all three, and it looks like there was a little bit of lag in the communication, and it just got staggered. A good response by Boise State, though, to recognize the noise behind that smoke and double down on watching it. A little bit of interesting guns coming out from Boise State, and they're excited to use them. They go running all the way up to the fountain, but the action's on Hookah, and as they come riding down into the sand, shot out of midair.
Right in midair!
A devil with the cannon. He's gonna hop right on top of everything, gets 2 through the smoke, collaterals up to a triple, and they haven't even made eye contact. Sends the guiding light in after, and he is just on the hunt. He's gonna run through 2 different walls and finds a 4th one.
That was scary.
That was the best ad for the Bulldog I've ever seen.
That was a bit spooky the way he was just predicting everything.
We've seen 2 raises be shot out of the sky, though, like good old-fashioned duck hunt. Something you got to be careful about, those blast packs. You can't cancel them. You're in the air. Look at this just devilish hunt.
Finds both of them. And now we'll move on to the next round. Boise State having the opportunity to go double digits like you said, but they'll have to go up against full rifles from Colorado State to do so. And when you're at a gun disadvantage, we see Boise State using this strategy a lot, moving up close, trying to pick up one. Prestige picks up a double with 2 headshots in a row, getting Boise State the advantage back, but it's hard to beat the range of those Vandals.
Yeah, that is tough. Before the last update, that would have gone a little bit differently because he didn't get a lot of information off of that guiding light, even though it did flash 1 or 2 people. But still, making it out of there with a double before closing the deal is impressive. And Colorado State still has a player ahead, but it's everybody's kind of dropping like flies, and they not got the spike down. One hanging out in the corner. Ray's playing nice and quiet for the first time this round. Oh, they are going to strafe him and Lettuce. Ooh. It's going to make this a difficult game for Rariana.
Yeah, tough position for him. Best I would consider a win position is to be able to take one away. Rotation. Oh, they're not looking. He gets 1. Rotation through lamps, though, finds him.
And a 3-piece. 3 of a kind from Lettuce. And the rain finisher, that was really interesting. Boise State up by 3 points and 1 map.
And it's basically started the way that the first 3 rounds tend to go. So Boise State, this was going to be the first true chance they have of getting to double digits. And, you know, also you got to take into account what the win condition is. And when you're that behind in guns.
Looks like Skies needs a money manager.
Yeah.
A little bit low on credits there. Maybe they weren't.
But he's going with Old Faithful in terms of his strategy.
Yeah, he sure is. Rariana playing for a lot of contact here. They're just drilling the heck out of that showers. Goombi takes one. Absolutely. Yeah, check your angles. Do not run with your knife in contested area. Prestige going to sneak around the deadlock wall with no problem.
And the door just slammed right in the Broncos' face. Can Prestige bring this back? He'll bring back out his gun, try to peek around the corner, spots him, quick flick over to get the headshot. Boise State bringing it back with the Bucky of all things. Skies is pushing through, caught in reload, but fires through. And now there's just 1 left for Colorado State. I thought for sure it was a 4-2 advantage for the Rams. And now it's just 1 left to try to keep Colorado State at bay.
Prestige sprinting back with the Vandal. He does have the Seekers alive. He wants to lose them, drop that ult, and look for something here. It could
Cave.
It could be the flank from Cave. If they don't turn around in time, he's got to stay nice and slow. Walking through with the aquatic-themed rifle here on to Manon. 1, 2, 3. Coming right around the corner. Will he expect it? Looks like he's going to go back to A and get a plant and a nice unconventional back of sight behind the truck. That gives Prestige a chance to run up with the knives. And once that plant is down, he's going to be back on the arms. He has to expect it from any side here. It's an uncomfortable position, and you can't wait for Manon to make the first look. It's on your clock now.
Oh.
Sees the shoulder with the angle advantage, jumps out, takes it, no problem. Running back with 4 health. Look at that blinking red HP. Saves the ult for next round, and he's going to get an easy defuse, bringing him up to double digits. And look at him.
He got a little bit jittery on the crosshair placement, but I walked away with 4 health. But I like what we saw from him there. He just ducked back around, and it's almost as if you could feel the deep breath that he takes.
Right.
You know, he wasn't expecting that particular angle from the Reyna. Kind of dances around the head, takes a moment, a breather, and then lands it.
Well, what can we say? He had to lock in.
All right. Boise State now up to double digits, 3 rounds away from winning the night entirely. They still have the Seekers. The Prestige opted not to go for those in the 1v1 face-off. Damio also having to bring out a Bucky. I think both teams need to have a serious look at their fiscal habits, because we're seeing a lot of very odd purchases be brought out. Lear forcing Prestige back into elbow. He's holding a cross angle with Rariana, who finds one against Gambi, but Rariana is staying out by the Sheriff. Good trade overall. Damio, he wasn't even looking.
Man.
What is it with the shotguns? This is not supposed to be this fruitful.
The Ion Sheriff trying to take a couple of shots, but Lettuce is going to find one with 0 problems. Skelesis gets one on the Rice, and Daimyo. Oh, almost a menace here. Just hanging out on top of the spike.
Yeah, this is a great position for Boise State. Once you know where the spike is, you're basically forcing the team to come to you.
Those are your eggs, incubate them.
There's going to be a boombot thrown out onto point. They still think Boise State is on point.
His deep sight, yeah. Meanwhile, Daimyo,
I mean,
nice
they got to go back to get the spike. That's the thing. Moving on up to Hookah, finds the shot. Now it's just 1 left for Colorado State, and they have to make their way all through Hookah. Back over to the spike, pick it up and plant. I doubt there's enough time for them to work with. Throws out the Dizzy. Going to try to find the blind with it. Moving through smoke. Going through with the shotgun. Doesn't find it.
Wow.
And it's a clutch for Manhead.
Wow. Manhead's clutch right there is ridiculous. I mean, he was absolutely cornered, stuck in the smoke, got absolutely barrel stuffed by the brim. Had to fly out onto Skelesis, who already had a history of being in tricky positions when you're least expecting it. I mean, look at this right here. He thought, oh, well, I'll just run back to the shed and grab some, nope, no chance.
But see, the thing is here is that it's kind of a mistake offsetting a mistake. The fact that so many Buckies are being brought out because of the credit differential is being kind of made up in the fact that not a lot of people are checking these side angles, just allowing the Bucky holder to move right up to their head.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of quality Iron gameplay where all the mistakes kind of just cancel out.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go that harshly against them. Skelis is going to say, well, okay, I was going to say he might be able to land a headshot, but doesn't. Trying to move away with 17 health. Boise State even it back up to 3 apiece.
Ooh. The barrier mesh is going to let Skelesis escape, but not everyone gets to escape. The clutches. What? What? Lettuce deserved that kill a couple minutes in advance.
Yeah, I do have to agree there.
Skelesis just tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, I'm behind you." That's all right, though.
Is not a weapon for a polite tap on the shoulder.
No, it certainly is not the approach I've seen a lot of Sheriff players take. Colorado State with 3 ults in the bag. Boise State much the same. We'll have to see what comes out. And look at this. All those Dave Ramsey DVDs we've been sending them, for everyone but Mace, has been paying off. We got ARs across the board, and it looks like it's going to be a nice, exciting round.
It's always great when you plan ahead for the future, put your credits in a good growth stock mutual fund with a 12% return, average of S&P. The thing is, Boise State might not want to wait that long. They're going to want to try to end the game right now instead of going that far in the future.
Yes, they will pay the taxes on their 401k and withdraw. Boise State looking to close the deal now. Just shake hands and get out of here. Rariana warming up for a potential 3-piece. He's got to back off the Lear. The Viper Toxic Screen and Snakebite up as well. He's going to drop.
Gets caught in the Rolling
Viper's
Thunder,
hit the wrong way.
But Prestige working with that sight denial, picking up a double, moving on in to get the Rams down to 3. They drop the spike as well.
That's true, and Prestige just sniffing out the spike, goes up behind. Wow, tries to heal Manhin, but it doesn't quite work. Manhin's going to take Skies instead. Rariana gets the reply. Oh, Prestige plays a little bit of peekaboo and comes out on top. The baby was not expecting that one.
There you go. Boise State still. Man, the Viper was so low on health. Rariana was so low on health when they spent that Viper's pick. Luckily, they do have that healing that the Sky affords them to recover. Because that was the main thing I was wondering. It's like that's a lot of great side denial placed on B, but Rariana is so low on health. Will they be taken out in a few seconds? It's not going to make a difference either way. But Boise State, they had his back, they had the heals, and now they have 11 and just 2 rounds to go to the win. Sky's moving on to our old favorite again. Not having enough to purchase a full rifle.
Oh, look at this. The entire squad coming in. He's having flashbacks. Daimyo backs off much quicker than his friend did last round. They try to get a couple taps in, but it's not going to be there. And it's a good bait for a lot of utility, which is just kind of burning away in Bath here, including this smoke, which that is an exceptionally deep smoke. I mean, you can't peek that. They know exactly what angle you're going to be coming out from. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know the difference between offensive and defensive smokes. Daimyo doing well to throw the Incinerary into the far neck. Make sure they choose either left or right side and drill down 1/2. Unfortunately, it's not going to get him anything, but it was a free try. He's going to watch some more narrow sight lines as they've got to transition to the B site or commit to the long road in instead of taking the short down Bath. One Bath player is still hanging out and might get a little action with the Gecko in a second here. Though looks like Goombi, Mace, and company might be making their way right up the street. Daimyo's got to back off again as that blast pack comes out. The paint shell, sorry.
Skies comes in with the Bucky. Rariana, Skies gets a double. There's just Manhin left, but he is the top fragger with the Reyna. And manages to find one. Boise State does not want to throw this one away. Remember, they got to think about win condition here. Manhin is so far away from the spike.
And only 5 HP. If they lose themselves here in a battle of confidence, it's going to be upsetting. He takes the angle advantage, but it's not enough. Manhin jumps out, takes a 4-piece. Can he do it? Can he find an ace on 5 HP? He's drilling him through the boxes. Rariana trying to escape. Weston Knife out of there. A little bit of ring around the rosy to keep himself alive. Just burn the clock out and Defenders won. Is he going to find the post-round ace? He is disrespectful. How does this man get away with it? The overheal, his clutch. That was a little bit embarrassing. Boise State was up to match point regardless. Oh, wow. The outro ace on 5
all the way
HP.
on the other side.
Spike was nowhere.
Yeah.
At least he had the sense to not take the ego, like sit down and go for body shots.
They all did was the thing. And that gives Colorado State a much easier win condition of clearing them on out. I mean, I'm glad Boise State won that fight, but they threw around away earlier with that mentality, and they almost did it again.
Prestige making a little bit of noise, just trying to check this first angle. Goombi taking it nice and slow with a friend. Meanwhile, back on B site.
Well, they're not being too gung-ho about this. They're just going to wait, see if there are any early peaks.
They might even drop the Seekers either early this round or late into the round when it comes down to it. But Prestige.
Angle, nice flying
through. After the flashpoint comes out, dodges it. Skelesis with a quick turnaround from the pocket is going to find it. Skelesis goes back into the cubby, and Prestige goes flying out. Oh, no, he doesn't ignore it. He dives in after the teleporter. Going to send the gliding light out. Whether it worked or not, no one will know. Rice ignores the landing light.
Nice. Prestige lands it. That prevents a potential flank going out onto Skies.
And changes the win con. Everybody's got to scoot on over and just sit on this spike. Goombi does go down to Skies with the Bucky. Oh, out of midair. Lettuce almost finds him. Trying to deal with the Seekers and the Thrasher at the same time. It's just not enough. So Skies come flying in for the last kill of the night. And that's Boise State taking point 2. Consecutive maps for a shutout win for the night. But, man, it was a little bit close at times.
Great night overall. If Boise State was going to have an audience here tonight, then that's kind of the result that we hope for, 2-0. But a bit too few moments on bind that made me hold my breath. Colorado State making it much closer, it being 8-13 instead of the 13-1 we saw on Icebox.
Yeah, we say 2-0 never tells the whole story. It really doesn't. But this was a nice demonstration of what could have been a monstrosity of a comeback.
Yeah, Colorado State definitely had some good plays here or there, but the Broncos hold firm, hold true, and will add on to their Mountain West record, maintaining their position in first place in the conference overall. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. They have a multitude of positions, many of which offer a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. You can live here, work here, and serve here with the Idaho Army National Guard. Reach out to them on Instagram at iGuardIdaho. Thank you for watching us tonight, and enjoy your top 5 plays. Dickett, move around the corner, find one. Now it's just down to 1, but he can overheal, and he'll land the headshot. Has just enough time to defuse, and
Control. The knives are coming for him, though. He's going to try to dodge. Oh, fakes out the tether. They're all going to be watching above. He grabbed both of them in a collateral. That was disgusting.
If you're on the Reyna, he's been doing that, but not as much as Damio has. He has 16 so far. Then you come through the smoke. Boise State just lies in wait, picks him up. It's the question. He's going hunting, trying to find the last one.
Drops the incinerator. He's going to play through the incinerator.
Oh, next level Galaxy Brain. Tries to catch them around the corner. Boise State still chasing. It's 2 against 1. And it's just for fun at this point because there's no way that spike can be defused. Boise State